EGM Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Whatever with Lu Navarro. I am Lu Navarro, your host, and I'm your friendly and bilingual realtor with Remax Crown Realty and in the beautiful Treasure Coast here in Vero Beach. If you're new here, make sure to hit that follow button on your favorite podcast app and connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Lu Navarro Realtor. I share tips, tours, and all you need to know about real estate. Um, I want to remind everyone there that is thinking about buying um, a home for the first time that new funds will be released on July 1st for the down payment assistance hometown heroes program. You could start preparing right now and applying, putting the application before the funds are released on July 1st. You only need to be a resident of Florida for at least a year, and you have to work with a Florida-based company. So anyhow, if you need more information, comment on the below HTH or just contact me directly. I will be able to give you more detail. Today episode, we're talking about design. How can staging a house or a home can turn this into showstoppers and dreams into reality. And we're talking about homes, not just homes or any home, but beautiful stage inspired homes that help people fall in love at first sight. And joining me today, I have the creative mastermind behind inspiring homes and staging and design. These ladies are transforming spaces and helping homes sell faster and for top dollars. So let's welcome Michelle and Haley to the podcast.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Good morning.
Welcome.
We're happy to be here.
Welcome. Thank you, both of you, for joining me today. Let's start by introducing yourselves and sharing how inspiring homes, staging, and design came to be. And tell us what is Inspired Homes all about and how the business started, what role each of you have, and what makes your approach unique.
Okay, I'll get started with that a little bit. Inspiring Home Staging began in 2012, and that was because I was formerly a school teacher and I taught fashion, nutrition, interior design. And with the push toward more technological advances with classes and things like that, those classes kind of became a little bit less desirable for students. So I found myself looking for employment, and I've always enjoyed design and interior design. So I decided to start my staging company. I was at 40 years old and just got started with it then. And we did part-time for a while. And then in 2015, launched it full time and haven't turned back yet, and been super excited as far as the role that we have been able to offer for our clients there in the area to be able to, stage their properties and, like you said, to get top dollar.
Yeah. And that's so fantastic. It's really inspired to see how you turn your opportunity into something that you really enjoy, right? And into a successful business, because I have been your client. So
Yes.
yeah. So staging with a purpose, right? For people listening who are in real estate or have never staged a home, what is home staging and why does it matter?
So home staging, before I start that, I wanted to introduce Haley's our newest member of our team. We have 9 people on our team, and she's going to be handling the marketing. So she's relatively new and may not say a whole lot, but if she has anything, obviously she can chime in. But we're super excited to have Haley to do our marketing and things for us as well. And then we have, stagers and a project manager and everything too. So I wanted to kind of add that. Staging, what staging is, so the definition is kind of a long definition, but basically it talks about the act of preparing and merchandising a property and showcasing it. Basically what that means is, we declutter, we depersonalize, we recommend any updates or repairs, any rearranging of furniture, in an occupied home, but just doing whatever we can to make the home presentable and showcased to its fullest potential so that buyers can look at it and envision themselves living in that home, not, the current seller. So, and we do, recommend updates and repairs, minor things, of course, nothing that's going to break the bank or, cause the client to, have to completely renovate or gut the property, but just some simple things sometimes just to get a better return on their investment, like a simple coat of paint, updating light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, things like that. Sometimes those simple little things can really make the home look more updated and move-in ready.
Yeah. And I be like, when I show a home, I tell my buyers, you have to feel it, you have to see it. So it's really connected to emotions. And, I believe that there is emotional side to a staging because it really helps the sellers or the home sales. And also at the same time, it makes the buyer's decision to choose this is the one. So that's great. So let's talk about the services you offer. Can you walk us through the different type of services or stagings that you provide?
Yes. So the most common is vacant homes. And that's where we, come in and bring in furniture, decor, art, accessories, everything to make it look like someone's living there, look like it's a home. Model home, I like to say a lot of times. So that we primarily recommend the main dining rooms, living and dining areas, and then the primary master bedroom. Based on research and statistics, those are the rooms in the areas that buyers really, really want to see staged because, like the master, for example, that's their retreat, and they want to be able to see how much room's going to fit, how much furniture is going to fit. Do I have room for my love seat with my TV and my book, place to curl up and read a book or watch a movie? So that's really important. And then obviously we live in Florida, so we want to have, those outdoor spaces are great too. Then, we come in, she's our project manager. She provides the consultation and gives the quote and everything. And then we get you on our schedule to stage that property. So that's, kind of what vacant properties are all about. Then when we go into occupieds, that's really a fun. It is. I think it's probably the most challenging. And we have one stager that's designated strictly for occupied stages. And she does a great job. So we provide a consultation at first, giving them tips and tricks and suggestions on what they need to do, in advance. And that's like, let's take down your personal photos. Let's remove, some of this extra stuff that we have laying around, or rearrange furniture, things to that extent. So Judith will go in and give them those recommendations, kind of a room by room checklist. And then if there's any additional services that she feels like we can offer, she'll let them know. And one package that we really like to stress is a photo prep package. And that's just simply her coming back prior to photos. Usually we like to suggest scheduling photos like around noon, and she could come back that morning and getting everything ready, just making sure that the home is ready to go, kind of, fluffing the pillows, arranging pillows, making sure the beds are made, maybe hanging some white towels out on the towels in the bathrooms, towel bars. and just getting the home ready, making sure the toilet lids are down and the toilet paper and the paper towels and the sink stuff is all put away. That oftentimes you as an agent don't have time to do that, and the photographer may not know what to do. So that just gives kind of an elevated opportunity for that home to look its best. We started this package because many times she would have the consultation, and then we would see it go live and we're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they left that out, and it's not that the seller didn't do it. It's just, maybe they assumed the photographer would move it or whatever. So
Yeah.
that is such an important, opportunity that we have to go back to, fine tune things for them, setting out little floor displays and centerpieces. And then obviously that's the staging side. Then we have interior design as well. We have an interior designer that's on our staff, and she does an amazing job. She did one for an investor there in Vero Beach recently, and he just was so excited about it. He bought the property to flip and then decided to build it and renovate it himself. And then she furnished it completely for him and everything. And we have, she can do stuff like that. If they're in a process of renovating or new construction, she can help them picking out flooring, cabinetry, countertops, all the color stuff.
Wow. Awesome.
And yeah, that's really nice because she can go in there and just, kind of get it to be what the client is envisioning, but doesn't know quite how to do it. So she can really help them with that. And then the last thing that we're super excited about is Airbnb design. She just
That's your
recently
newest toy, right?
newest toy. And it's great because obviously in Florida, there's a lot of Airbnbs along the coast. Even on the mainland, we see Airbnbs different places that you go, Airbnb here, but you never know. So Airbnb design, and with that Airbnb design, it's actually an e-design program where she can design a cabin in the mountains if you've got a cabin in the mountains.
Wow.
And she can't necessarily go there, but she has that option, that opportunity for it to be electronic design that she can send to them, and then they can purchase the furniture and have it installed themselves. So super cool.
So that's very comprehensive.
Yes.
Can you
It's not easy.
Yeah, I know. Can you give us a sample of one of your favorite transformation? Maybe share a quick a story, before and after story, or maybe when you surprised these homeowners, because I know it's hard sometimes for them. You are entering their the palace, and sometimes I'm pretty sure you are hit with a lot of resistance, and they feel like there's nothing wrong with my house. So can you share that with us?
I can't think of anything specifically as far as a specific client that maybe has been of a challenge. There's obviously resistance oftentimes, but I think once they see what we can accomplish, by sharing the website and sharing, testimonials and things like that, and just giving our expertise and knowledge that we provide, I think they're more open to that. I know that there was, moving's hard no matter what situation is and what, the reasoning that you're moving. I, do remember that there was a client that was going through a divorce, and she was having to take care of several things, on her own. And she was, very concerned about the staging because she's like, I have to do this. I have to get the top dollar, and I need to sell it fast because she couldn't afford, the expenses of the property any longer. So we went in there and staged, and, she even was crying, at the consultation. And so I kind of felt like I was almost a little bit of a nurturer, supporter there, and just helping her, reassure her that it was going to be okay and that we were going to take care of it. And we did. We staged it, and it sold, pretty quickly and for top dollar. So that was good. That's kind of an inspiring story, where we go in and help the clients get what they need, and
that's awesome.
So
that's awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
And we're back. We are back with Michelle and Haley from Inspiring Inspiring Home Staging and Design. I know you mentioned a little bit about Haley. I know how important marketing is, so I'm pretty sure you have, you are one of those links to make that team stronger. And can you tell us what you bring to the table, Haley?
Yeah, so it's good to meet you. But absolutely, I'm happy to be here. Like Michelle said, I'm very new. It's only been officially a week, and the one of the things that we're doing here is just trying to bring awareness to the fact that it's not just vacant home staging. Like she said, she wants to really amplify the redesign portion. And you guys had mentioned the Airbnb, so there, like she said, mainland, like there's a ton of Airbnbs in just Palm Bay alone. So we're definitely just trying to put our name out there and our presence and just be a little bit more well known. And so that way we're just out there and we're front foremost on your mind when it comes to why that home is so beautiful and why it sold so quickly. We definitely want to be a realtor's go-to partner, and even the community. We want the community to think, I would love my home to look like that because some people for fun just do open houses. They just want to go and see. And so if we were able to stage that home and our business information's there or a representative is there, they can absolutely gain all the knowledge and the tools to be able to have all of those same qualities in their home.
Awesome. So now to the business part. Michelle, running a business isn't just about picking pretty furniture, right? So what do you think have been some of the biggest lessons, challenges that you have learned since starting this company, and how have you overcome it?
So I guess the biggest challenge, I started the business at 40 years old, and I was previously a school teacher. So trying to get into the real estate world and learn, that was a challenge at first. But definitely as we've progressed and moved into the business world a little bit more, probably the biggest challenge that we face and that I've faced along the way has been pricing and understanding that, there's not one price fits all, or that the, one client, is wanting a price at this point. Well, that's not necessarily what we can offer our staging for. I was kind of going over some stuff with Haley. When I started the company, I want our staging to look like a model home, to look like it's been professionally decorated, not just a cookie cutter, throw some furniture in there and be gone with it. I want that emotional connection. I want people to be wowed when they see that. So price, many times, people don't understand the overhead costs. We've got 50 homes with furniture in it, plus then a warehouse with furniture. That's a lot of stuff. And I've calculated up that most of the time, the furniture that we place into the properties, we're putting anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 worth of furniture, accessories, lamps, rugs, decor, and all of that. And that's on the low end. Many times it's probably 12 to 15,000. So people don't realize that, and then you've got your team that does such a great job, and I couldn't do anything without my team. And so pricing, oftentimes they'll say, well, I can get another stager to do it for X numbers of dollars. Okay, great. But we can't do that. If you want our look, our quality, our service, this is what, we have to offer. And, we have lost clients, but that's okay. We understand that budget restraints, personalities or whatever, we're not going to be able to service every client. And that was hard because I love to help everybody. So realizing that, we may not be able to help everybody for whatever reason. And just, hope that next time maybe that agent has a client that, we will be able to work with. So.
Yeah. That's incredible, because what really you're trying to set your own standard, and also you are providing a professional service, and the value of it, and you have to stick to it because you deserve it. You are the one who put the hours on it. And at one point in this process, have you ever said, oh my God, this is tough? Are we really doing this? Should we keep moving forward?
Not ever really thinking I want to just completely quit and get out of the business. I'm not ready for that, because I think we have so much to offer and so much more to grow.
Mm-hmm.
We've been in business, like I said, since 2012, and we do service Brevard County and Indian River County and down into Port St. Lucie a little bit. So I don't really think, I think the biggest area has been, do we offer this service, or do we offer, this type of, design or whatever? Because getting the right people on my team is so important to me. And I understand having the right people in place is going to be what makes our company successful, and being able to offer more services and things like that. So having, hiring our interior designer and getting her on board last year was key to being able to offer more interior design services and things like that. So that's been probably the biggest struggle, is not, do we want to quit the business altogether, but what services do we want to offer, or do we not want to offer?
Yeah, it's just, it's about mindset, facing fears, learning about your moments that we all have, right?
Right.
So it's like realtors. Every transaction is different. So we learn from that. Well, now let's have a little fun. Let's it's time for my signature round in the podcast, the rapid fire with Lou. I'm gonna choose you some questions and just answer whatever comes to your mind. All right. So what's the favorite room to stage? Go.
I think the master bedroom. It's just, it's supposed to be just a nice retreat. You really want to elevate that and just make it feel warm and cozy. But yet I like the living rooms too. I like it all. But, the living room's nice too, because that's where the family gathers. And I feel, I'm really family oriented. So I think that's important too. I think the living room's a little bit more challenging.
And what about the most challenging room to stage?
I think the living room can be the most challenging, because typically you've got to decide, if there's like an outdoor space that you want to view that have that view that you don't want to block the view or block the walkway to the view or to the sliding glass doors. You want to keep it open to the kitchen or to the dining room area. So I think sometimes the living room can be the most challenging, just because you want to make sure that it flows and it stays open, to some of the other rooms that it is connected to, or, it's important with, because open concept's always fun, but yet it's not always possible in some homes either, but you want them to flow.
In an inspiring note, in a short sentence, what would you say to inspire anybody to take their first step to chase their dream or their project in life or their business in life?
Just do it. You never know if it's going to be successful or if it's going to work until you just do it. I know Nike has that, but, like I said, I was 4 years old and I found myself, I went to school for education and teaching, but I was teaching some of these basic concepts with, interior design and fashion. They all kind of work together. And when I found myself kind of in a situation where I needed to come up with a plan B, so to speak, I did it. And, for the first
Great.
couple of years, I was kind of,
I'm going to have to cut you off because we're almost done. But thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. Again, if you're thinking about buying a home, reach out, follow me, connect with me. Choose inspiring home and stage and design for your staging purposes. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss out. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'm Lu Navarro, and let's make your real estate dreams a reality. Y recuerda, yo hablo tu idioma. Chao, chao.